What's going on, everybody? Joe Cordero once again.
And I am Pastor Barone here for Lifecast.
All right, Pastor Baron, let's talk about Black History Month and why it's in February. I feel like I've heard sometimes people are like, it would be on the shortest month of the year, right? Or, like, what is the reason it's February? Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, I can tell you more about that, but just a heads up real quick, for Black History Month, I'm rocking my HBCOU sweater. So yes. They saw it last week. And just in case you think that I don't have any clothes in my wardrobe, which I really don't, but I'm rocking this in honor of Black History Month. OU stands for Oakwood University, which is an HBCU in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm a graduate of it. Loved my experience at my HBCU. And so a big shout out to all of them across the nation. I just loved it. Okay, so
yes.
Let's jump into this. February. I wish it could be because it was my birthday, because I was born in February. It's a great month of the year. It is the shortest month of the year, but of course, with it being founded by G. Carter Woodson in the early 20th century, in the 1900s, they chose the month of February to honor a couple of other people that were born during that month. Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, two huge names in the conversation about freedom and the conversation about people being able to advance themselves, particularly colored people. And Frederick Douglass, a huge part of that, along with Abraham Lincoln. And so they were both born during that month, and they said, hey, why not have it in a month where a couple of people have done some significant things for Blacks that are here in America. And so that's why the month of February was chosen.
Another thing that comes to mind in relation to, celebrating Black history is Juneteenth. And I feel like not many people know about Juneteenth. For me personally, I've only heard about it like 2 years ago. So maybe some already are like, what is Juneteenth? Can you tell us what is that? What is that? It's considered a holiday or a celebration?
Yeah.
Day? I don't know. What is that categorized as?
Well, it's not as big of a holiday for many in America that really is recognized. As a matter of fact, it's not recognized by America at large in a sense like it would be. But it's kind of like if I were to equate it to something, it'd kind of be like July 4th, Independence Day for the whole nation, where celebrating the nation's birthday in a sense.
Yeah.
Juneteenth is a day, June 19, every year, where the remaining slaves were freed from the Confederacy. And so Juneteenth is a day of celebration of freedom from slavery. June 19th is that day. It's a day of celebration. It's a day of getting together. It's a day of independence and freedom. So June the 19th, some people are getting free from high school and graduations or college or grad school. Well, Black Americans, we celebrate Juneteenth to celebrate freedom from slavery. And that day is really important. It's one that's actually gaining in popularity. There's been parades and celebrations for many years to celebrate Juneteenth, but it hasn't reached the high mainstream levels. This past year, it was much bigger than it had been in previous years because of a lot of the unrest that we have continued to experience here in America. But I think that moving forward, it will be a huge celebration. And I think that one of the things as well that's challenging for those that are in school and whatnot, Juneteenth would probably be in the eyes or in the minds of young people a lot more if the actual day of remembrance or celebration fell during the school year.
Right.
Most schools are out during that time. And so when you're not together with your friends and you're just starting off summer, it's just kind of like another day, but it's commonly celebrated by remembering once again the struggles and the challenges that Black Americans went through here in this country. But it's also a time to get together and have fun. Time to get together, eat, hang out, enjoy it, celebrate black success, black excellence. A time to be able to do all of those things. June the 19th. So mark it on your calendar and check out.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something that's going on. A parade in some places, provided that the pandemic has let up by that time. There'll be something for you to kind of commemorate that day.
Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, the way you explained it, it's definitely something I feel like we should all be celebrating. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
that
Yeah.
that sounds that just sounds to me like a no brainer. Like, we should all be definitely having just a great party on June 19th for sure. That's really
Yeah.
unfortunate though. It's not during the school year, like you said. I feel like we could really benefit from being together as a community with that. But just that's right after graduation. You're right.
Yeah, well, but I mean, there's a couple of other things to consider as well. We think about July 4th, and that's not during the school year, but we get together. But
Very
it also
true.
is a really big celebration. So it's a matter of people being aware of it so that they can get together, so that they can celebrate
You're
it.
right.
The school year in and of itself, from an education perspective, it's always helpful to say, hey, look, you're here in school today, and guess what? Today is, and people are able to kind of celebrate it. Or schools and districts can make the choice to say, hey, look, we find this to be important. We're actually not going to come to school today because of that purpose, because of that. And
Right.
kids are able to say, oh man, we don't have school. Why aren't we having school? Oh yeah, it's Juneteenth. We're celebrating
Yeah.
the emancipation of blacks in America on June the 19th. But that those opportunities aren't present. But it doesn't mean that it can't be celebrated well, because we do other things in the summertime and we celebrate them well. So we can do this as well.
Yes. Yeah, and I think you're right. Last year was definitely a jump in popularity in
Hmm.
um uh in Juneteenth. I feel like when I first heard about it, I was still 2 years ago. I was like, I don't really know what this is about. But last year, I definitely saw a lot more celebrations about it. So that's super awesome. Baron,
Hmm.
is there any other like times to celebrate that maybe not many people know about? So you mentioned Kwanzaa last episode. We're talking Black History Month now, Juneteenth. Is there anything else that just comes to mind real quick?
Juneteenth, of course, Black History Month, Martin Luther King Day, that happens in
Right.
January, are three really big key ones to really think about. I think that emerging over time, there probably will be some times of intentional remembrance around George Floyd and what
Yeah.
happened during that time. I think that'll emerge, and I think that'll kind of stay in the memories of most Americans.
Hmm.
I think that certainly will be the case, and there's precedence for some of these things before, where we remember the significant deaths of other people that just kind of happen, And I don't want to compare them to any other tragic events that happened
Sure.
during that time, but I think that's one that will always kind of stick out. But there's always an opportunity to think about significant events that have happened in America. I can think of 2000 January 20. Let's see, what was that? 2008 or 2009, when Barack Obama became president. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
that was a huge day in DC. That was big. We don't have a holiday for that, but it's a time. It's so close to King's birthday as
Hmm.
well, and so those things are important. But if we start there and we continue to keep within our mind significant things that Black Americans have done all year long, we certainly will celebrate it very well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that because I feel like it's easy to fall into the temptation, at least especially for someone that's not black, to only like limit the celebration of Black history to February because
mhm.
like it's so saturated and there's a lot of things going on there. But then my hope is that every time we do Black History Month events and activities, that's a launching pad into um, inspiring other events down their year. and further down the further down the year. What am I saying? Yeah, I think we're moving outside of that now. Kind of seeing what are the opportunities that we can see representation and diversity in the different things we do as a community. But I do think Black History Month definitely, I mean, it's a beautiful month that we can use as a launching pad, as a starting point for conversation and for inspiration for other things, but not just as an only time, right?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Joe, last week I dished out a challenge and hopefully some people watched that episode. Put it in the comments why February was the month that was chosen, because it was a celebration of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, who were born in the month of February. So I want to throw out a challenge for this week. Can I do that?
Do it.
All right. So you guys ready for this? I'd like for you to list how many HBCUs are in the United States. How many historically Black colleges and universities are in the United States? Now, some have opened and closed, but I want you to list the number of currently open HBCUs. And then as an added bonus, the Vice President of the United States attended an HBCU. Which one was it? Which HBCU did Attorney Vice President Kamala Harris attend? All right. So that's my challenge to you guys. Hopefully you will get it correct. You'll be able to see there and find out that there's far more HBCUs than you ever thought or even knew about right here in the United States of America.
That's a challenge for this week, y'all. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Enjoy this rendition of Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Yes.
I like this part right here. Come on. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the on till victory is won. Now we add a little something to it, just to encourage you. We're gonna take you to church right now. Let's go. We'll keep marching, fighting till the victory is won. To all my brothers out there, hold your head up, brother, till the victory is won. To all my sisters in the struggle, keep believing, sister, till the victory is won. Till that day. Till that day comes. Hey. Let us march on to victory.